Hi, my name is Faye and I grew up at Glad Tidings. So we bought a house in the neighborhood and it was really awesome. We were so excited. This house was like exactly what we had asked God for. I can remember one young lady in particular who rented our basement apartment. And as we got to know her, it turns out she came from a past of horrific abuse. And our hearts really broke as we got to know her and spend time with her, and she started to share her life story. We would just show her random acts of kindness. We would just have her up for a cup of tea or just greet her warmly and give her a hug when she arrived. But she could never really fully open up to us. And that was really, really hard. It was so painful to see somebody that was so full of hurt, and yet you knew you held in your hand the hope of Jesus, and that you could share, if you could just share that with her. And try as we might, we could never get to that point with her. Every time we even brought it up, a wall would go up. And I know from experience that God's love can heal the hurts of the past. And I know that He can work and bring joy and hope where there was none. And so I wish that for her, and I longed for her to have that experience. And we knew by her patterns of experience in the past that once she moved out of our home, we would likely lose all communication with her. And we were just really devastated, because I thought, God, then who else is going to reach her? Who else is going to speak into her life? And that just to me was so devastating, and I was so heartbroken by that. So the time finally came for her to move out, and just before she did, she gave me a set of earrings that she had made. I just hung them on a magnet on my fridge, and they reminded me just to pray for her. And so every time I saw the earrings on the fridge, I just say, God, just reach into that life with your peace, your hope, your healing touch. Just somehow bring people into her life that can walk with her through this. A few years after that tenant moved out, we still had the earrings on the fridge. We're praying for our friend. And we picked up our mail one day, and in the mail was a letter. Dear Faye, I don't know if you remember me. I was the young girl who rented out your basement apartment a few years ago. I wanted to fill you in on my life, as I feel you and your family played a role in how wonderful things have turned out for me. I didn't see it then, but now looking back, I know God placed me in your home for a reason. I moved back to Hamilton and started attending a church there. My life would be forever changed the moment I walked through those doors. I began a relationship with Jesus, and shortly after that, I took a 2-year Bible college program they offered. I graduated with honors, and I decided I wanted to help people in need, especially women and children affected by domestic violence, sexual assault, and at-risk teens. I was so lost and hurt from many years of abuse and just unfair circumstances, and did not know if I could ever forgive or even be forgiven for the things I'd done in my life. I am so thrilled to report that my life has changed, and I believe you had a part in that. God knew what He was doing when He placed you in my life. When I was under your roof, I always felt a safety I had never felt before. I know you prayed for me, and as a result of your faithfulness, things for me will never be the same. Thank you. And all I did was have her for tea and give her hugs and tell her about Jesus when moments came up. And I'm just so thankful that it's God who works through us to touch lives.
We believe that community engagement is bigger than church programs and events. And we acknowledge that God has called us to share our life and faith. We also know that God has uniquely equipped the church to share God's love with everyone everywhere. But if we're honest, we know many find sharing their faith difficult. We believe there's power in alignment, so we have developed a 3-week life group series that we are encouraging the whole church to participate in. We're calling this small group series Everyone Everywhere, because we believe God is actively revealing Himself to everyone everywhere. Together, by joining a small group for 3 weeks in January 2020, we hope to see over 500 people at GT participate. Imagine the impact in our neighborhoods, workplaces, schools, and homes if we begin revealing God's love intentionally to everyone everywhere. We can't wait to see what God has in store for everyone, everywhere.